All right, the previous lesson was logarithms. This is the final lesson before the trig, and it follows the previous lesson. So let me just show you a quick example. Like, let's say I said 2 to the x plus 1 equals, I don't know, 8. I don't know. Well, I know 2 to the third is 8, right? I know that whatever this power, whatever x is, that power has to be 3. So I know that x plus 1 must be 3. So then I know x must be 2, right? Subtract 1. I'll do it like you're in the 3rd grade. So x would have to be 2. If x is 2, then that power is 3, and 2 to the third is 8. So, this is so stupid and easy. Yeah, it is, but when I give you something like this... You can't do this retardedness. Oh, not really. Let's see. Powers of 2. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Crap. I don't get 23. 23 is not a power of 2. This is not easy to figure out what x has to be. But I'm going to show you a special way to do this. This is what you're going to do. You're not going to do this easy nonsense, okay? You're going to do this. This is the exponential equation that you will have to solve. And this is a question that shows up on the department final, which is why I'm doing it. So now, I am aware that you may not take a department final, but whatever. You might. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to give you a property. Last time we talked about logarithms. Logarithms are the inverse of exponential functions. Logarithms are powers. Now, there's a really cool little property that they have. You would do this in tremendous detail in pre-calculus, okay? I'm not even sure why this is done in our course, except that the chemistry department wanted it in 1275 many, many years ago, so we just put it there. Now, if you have x to the p, and you take the log of that, what you can do is you can take this power and move it to the front. Like so. This is a property. The power comes up in the front, and you multiply. Now you're like, how on earth is this going to help me? I think I wrote this before. If you take the log of both sides and then use this property, like if I take log here, I have to do it to that side. I'm going to do this nice in a minute. This power then would come to the front using this property. Once you get you're trying to solve for x, right? How the hell do you solve for x when the x is in the power? You have to get it out of the power. This property lets you get the x out of the power and into the front, and then you can solve. Now, if it's not obvious to you, you're going to have to use a calculator here. Your calculator, you're going to have to press log. There's a log button on your calculator, and you're going to have to press that. And then do log of 23 and figure out whatever the hell that's supposed to be. So you're not going to be able to do these without a calculator. You can set them up, but then you won't be able to get the final answer without it. Alrighty, the steps. Very straightforward. You're solving an exponential equation, like I said. Something like, 2 to the x plus 1 equals 23. You take the log of both sides, log, okay? You move the power into the front. You're going to end up dividing so x is alone. You'll see when I do it. And then you're going to solve it on the calculator. Now, this is going to be kind of crazy to show you, but I'm going to try. See how blurry and nasty it is. At the very top, over there, is a button that says log. Okay? Now, this is the one that I use. That doesn't mean you have to use that calculator. Even your phone can have an log on it, okay? You need to be able to compute it. You'll see when I do the problem. I'm going to do them now. All right, so I decided just for fun to give you a completely different problem. I'm looking for x. I need to know the power of 2, that's 57. There is no power of 2, simple, that's 57. This is some crazy-ass decimal. I have no idea what it is, okay? So, I can kind of ballpark it, but I'm going to just do it. I'm going to take the log of both sides. This is step 1. Whoops. That's because I wrote x plus 1 before. Log 57. Log both sides. Now, I have to move the power to the front. Now, be very careful how you do this. The power has two different things. So when you move it to the front, you have to make sure the parentheses are there. All right, so step 1 was take log both sides. Step 2 was move the power into the front. Step 3 said divide. Divide by what? This. I have to get rid of log 2. Right? This is a product. This is a times. You're multiplying. The opposite of multiplying is to divide. So I have to divide both sides. Those cross out. So I get x minus 3 equals. Now, here's where I'm going to whip out the calculator. You don't have a choice. You have to do this on the calculator. Now I'm trying to show you. Notice when I put log 57, I closed the parentheses before I hit divide by log 2. If you don't do that, it's going to give you the wrong thing. Your calculator is not a human being. It doesn't think, okay? You see how I have the divide there? Now I'm going to hit equal. I get 5.832. I'm not going to round this much. The problem is that if you round this too much, it's not going to be accurate when I check it. Now, I'm not done, right? I got to add 3 to both sides. So just do 5 plus 3 and keep that decimal there. I'm sure you guessed that answer, right? You can't guess these, all right? It's impossible. These are crazy-ass decimals. There's no way in the universe you're going to guess this. Now, I want to show you wrong. I'm going to do log 57 divided by log 2. Now, I want you to see. Come on, tilt. You see? I didn't close the parentheses there. After I hit log 57, and then I just hit divide log 2 without closing the parentheses. And I get, well, gee, I didn't get the right answer. Son of a bitch. You have to be careful when you do this. You have to make sure you put this in the calculator correctly when you do this step. All right? You're putting log 57 divided by log 2. You don't close this parentheses in the calculator. It's going to divide the number 57 by log 2. That's why it F's up and gives you a wrong, weird-ass answer. Okay, so you have to be very careful when you do this. This is not a hard problem. You should not get this question wrong. All right, now, I am going to check it. I'm going to put 8.832 up in there. Now, I have to subtract 3 from that, which is that. So I want to do 2 to the 5.832. And I better get something close to 57. I'm not going to get 57, I'm going to tell you right now, because I rounded too much. I'd have to take this thing out to like 7 decimal places to get it right. But I should be pretty close. Okay, so I put it in. 2 to the 5.832. Now I'm going to press equal. You're not going to be able to see that because it's off screen. Equal. And it says 56.96. 56.96. Close enough. It's not going to be exact because I rounded. The more, if I had just put 8.8, I would have been even further away. You want to go at least 3 places here. The more places you go, the more accurate you're going to be, the closer you're going to get to 57. All right? So that's the power of 2. That gives you 57. It's like 5.832, blah, 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 whatever. Okay? So this is the process. You will always do the same thing. Take the log of both sides, move the power to the front, divide away, and then if you need to add or subtract to get x alone, it's easier if I just had 2 to the x. A lot of times it's like that. I'll do one really quick just to show you. So I decided to run through one more fast just to show you how easy this one's going to be. I'm looking for the power of 3. That gives me 14. So I take log both sides. Move the power to the front. Divide this over to there. now I whip out the calculator and I figure out whatever the hell log 14 divided by log 3 is. So I'm going to hit log 14, close parentheses, divided by log 3. Again, there it is. And I get 2.402. Now look, I know that 3 squared is 9, right? 3 to the second power is 9. So I know whatever x is, it's got to be more than 2, but it can't be 3, right? 3 to the third is 27. So I know that this is closer to 2 than it is to 3. And, 2.4. And there you go, right? Look, it's much easier when this is just alone. When you have x plus 1 there, or x minus 3, it gets a little bit more complicated, but it's not that bad. Again, it's primarily just you doing the log, get the power in the front, and then whip out the calculator and pa-cha, just do it, okay? Not that bad. So this was the very last thing before trigonometry. So after this, we will do nothing but trig for the rest of the way out.